What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another bootcamp video. Today we're going to be going over how to identify your take profit zones. I'm feeling so much better and I'm so excited to make this video for you guys today. So real quick, before we hop into it, as always, make sure you guys are doing your daily check-in. Comment down below letting me know you're still rocking with me until the very end. I think we have like 5-6 videos left of this bootcamp, so make sure you guys are doing that. Also, while you're at it, make sure to smash that like button as well as clicking that subscribe and that bell icon. It would mean the absolute world to me. But without further ado, let's hop into the video. And then real quick, if you haven't already, I highly suggest you are following me on Instagram. I also post a lot of free content over there as well, on my page as well as on my story. So make sure you guys are following me at Carhorn, CARWHORNS, the only verified account on Instagram. That link is going to be down in the description. Alrighty, so how to identify take profit zones. So what we're going to do, let's just pull up ES futures. Now, when it comes to take profit zones, I'm going to be honest with you guys. There is no right or wrong way to identify your take profit zone. As long as you are aiming for a minimum of a 1-to-1 risk to reward, there's so many different ways that you can identify these take profit zones. And in this video, we're going to be discussing some of those ways. So say we're looking at ES today, and it looks like ES gave a nice little liquidity sweep right here, came back down, and it tried to double bottom. So looking at ES right here, we can see that it gave a nice little liquidity sweep below the daily lows at around 44.2675, and it ended up reclaiming the level. So as price reclaimed the level, that is when you could have been looking to go long with a stop loss right below these lows. Now, this is often where I get asked, where is our take profit zones? And like I said, there's not just one way that we can identify where these take profit zones are, but right off the bat, you could say, okay, ideally, I'm looking for price to come back and test these highs. As you can see, we got a liquidity sweep right up at those previous highs right there. So this could have been an overall take profit zones, ultimately what you would like to see. But at the same time, we're also taking profits as the trade moves in our favor. That way we can catch those larger moves. Let's just say that you go long 50 contracts on SPY. I highly doubt that you're going to want to hold all 50 contracts until this high up here. As traders, we want to slowly take profits off the table. That way we are guaranteed green. And then from there, we move our stop loss up, ultimately aiming for that overall take profit zone. So now how can we identify different areas that we can look to take profits? Another way that I really like to identify take profit zones is the indicators I use intraday is I use a 21 EMA, I use an 8 EMA, and then I use VWAP. So if I just go ahead and put the exponential moving averages on, and then we put on VWAP, we could see that VWAP, this middle line right here, could have served as a take profit zone. So let me go ahead and let me fix all this up real quick. Or my bad, that wasn't even VWAP. I don't know why VWAP won't pop up on this, but we'll just actually hold on. Where is this? Let's make it. Oh, that was VWAP. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so VWAP right here, that could have been a take profit zone. So I like to use VWAP as a possible area to look to take profits off of the table. If we head on over to this and we make it the 8 EMA, and let's just keep it right there, I'll be looking also to take some profits off the table at the 8 EMA. Also the same with the 21 EMA. So as we can see on this chart right here, VWAP is this red line right here. The 21 is going to be the black right here. And then this blue line right here is going to be our 8 EMA. Now, because the 8 EMA was so close to the area, it really wouldn't have made sense to even try to take profits at that spot right there. But as price starts reclaiming this area, let's just say that we ended up getting long at 44.28.5. Let's get the long position. 44.28.5 would be right here. We're going to be risking about 5 points to the downside. So the 21 EMA was only 2.75 points. That wouldn't have made sense to try to take profits there. So if I were to go long on this trade, the 1-to-1 risk to reward would have been at VWAP. So that would ideally be my first take profit zone at VWAP if we were to get long right here. Again, you want to at least be looking for that 1-to-1 risk to reward. Now, if price action itself is saying get out of the trade, then obviously you want to get out of the trade. Even if it isn't a 1-to-1 risk to reward, say you're only about 0.5, but price action is really saying like, hey, you should probably get out of this trade because it's going to go against you, then listen to the price action, exit the position. But again, ultimately, you want to be looking for a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Say you were to get long actually at the bottom, then okay, this is enough of a distance that we could look to take profits at the 8 EMA, 21 EMA, and then VWAP. But depending on where you enter, it might not make sense. So in this trade, you could have had your first take profit at VWAP, and then from there, you can also look at different zones. So what else can we use? We can use Fibonacci. Let's take a pivot low to a pivot high. We can aim for the 0.5 retracement. We can aim for the 0.618 retracement as possible take profit zones as well. So let's just go ahead and delete that off the chart. Say you were aiming for the 0.618 as possible take profit zone. Well, what else do we have on here? We could also be aiming for this fair value gap right here, very small one. Or we could be aiming for this fair value gap right here. Say you're aiming for the middle of the zone right there. That could lead as a take profit zone as well. So again, we could just go ahead and replay this entire trade. Say we ended up getting long at that 4428.5, stop loss right below these lows right here. Ultimately, what would we like to see high a day, right? But we're also taking profits as the trade is moving in our favor. So first price target could have been VWAP right here, which was our 1-to-1 risk reward. Boom. As soon as we hit it, what can we do? Move our stop loss up to break even. That way we are not risking anything on the trade. And then from there, we could have been aiming for the 0.618% retracement. Again, taking pivot high to pivot low down there. So that could have been another take profit zone. And then you could have been also aiming for this area right here, this fair value gap. And then your ultimate price target all the way back up at the high of the day for a 4-hour trade to the upside. So this is what I am looking for when it's coming to take profit zones. There's no correct way to say, okay, I'm only going to be trimming if we hit this area, because there's so many different ways that traders are looking for take profit zones. And I also want to point out that I'm not only willing to trim at those areas as well, right? So say price was getting up to my 1-to-1 risk reward towards that VWAP, and I start noticing that price is hesitating towards that area. I'm not going to sit there and force it and be like, well, we're only 0.5 points away from hitting this VWAP. I'm not trimming until we hit it. If price is telling me to trim my position, I'm going to trim my position. You can also watch level 2, which is going to help you identify strength and weakness in underlying price. And that is going to help you a lot as well when it comes to understanding, okay, should I trim here? Should I trim here? But those are the multiple different ways that I am looking to take profit. Let's just head on over to NQ and let's just go to a random day and see if we can find a random scenario. So let's just scroll on back and let's go right here. So actually there was a very nice liquidity sweep over here. As you can see, it's marked on the chart. So looking at the overall price action, you can see that price ended up dipping below the area, got bought back up, and then same thing right here, dipped below the area and got bought back up. In the stop loss video, we talked about how I'm not selling just because the stop loss is hit. I'm watching the underlying price movement to understand, okay, is it a weak touch of where the stop loss is going to be, or would the sellers actually be strong in this scenario? So again, depending on the overall price action, you more than likely did not get stopped out of this trade. We can actually even break it down to a 1-minute time frame. Let's just go ahead and I don't have it marked, but we'll go to a 1-minute time frame. We'll find it right here. Okay. So looking at the 1-minute time frame, we can see that the 1-minute time frame, honestly, nothing about this 1-minute candle said to get out of the position. All it did was dip and then come right back up and reclaim the level. So obviously you're not going to get stopped out in that scenario. This is why we want to use mental stop losses, because again, you'll be able to identify, is it a weak touch of where your stop loss should be, or is there actually a lot of selling momentum? So if you ended up getting short on this candle or even this candle, your stop loss is going to be below these lows, depending on the price action. Again, if it starts getting down and it's looking very weak, obviously you want to exit the position. But let's just say that you ended up getting long on this candlestick right here. Where can you look to take profits, right? There was really no reason to try to get into this position and then aim for the fair value gap, because it's already been hit and it's already been respected, right? So let's just say that you waited for the 5-minute candle close in this scenario right here. And again, if you break it down to the 1-minute time frame, the 1-minute time frame would have gave you an even better entry. So if you ended up sniping that entry off the 1-minute time frame, then well, look at this. As we see, we have the 8 EMA and the 21 EMA right here. So if you entered all the way down here based off of what was happening on that 1-minute or 2-minute time frame at that liquidity sweep, well, it made a lot of sense to aim for the 8 EMA and the 21 EMA. Again, our closest indicator, that is where we could look to take profit. So if we just go ahead and let's just say, again, or actually, let's just say that we got this position down here, right? We entered as the 1-minute and 2-minute replaying this level. Stop loss is going to be slightly below these lows. Your first take profit is going to be towards that 8 EMA, 21 EMA. As it comes up, boom, that's where you want to take your first take profit. Then from there, looking at the chart, where else could this thing go to? Well, there's really not anything blocking it until VWAP, right? So that could be a second take profit. And then ultimately, what are you aiming for? The high of the day right here. Now, I also want you guys to keep this in mind. If I did end up taking profits right here, I'm not only trimming if price were to get up towards VWAP, right? Because as we can see, this is still a very nice move to the upside as price breaks through that 8 EMA and 21 EMA. I would be looking to take profits off of this move right here. Again, locking in profits, moving my stop loss up. That way I'm comfortable with letting the trade run and potentially catching even more profits. So as the trade pops, you could have been taking off more profits depending on how many contracts you're trading on SPY. Price pulls back and then price gets up towards that VWAP, again, an area that you were looking to trim. So as price comes up to it, make sure you're locking in profits, and then boom, right at that high a day, which was your overall price target, that is where you should be looking to exit your position. Sometimes we're not going to get that overall price target. That is why it's important we are locking in profits as the trade moves in our favor. Now let's just go ahead and let's flip it the other direction. Well, if we're looking at price right here, what did we get? Liquidity sweep right above these highs. As price closed on the opposite side, you could have went short. So let's get the short position right here. Stop loss would have been right above those highs right here. What is the closest indicator? VWAP. You could have been looking for a nice scalp towards VWAP for almost a 2R trade. And then from there, what could you have been aiming for? The 8 EMA right here, which would have been a 3R trade, and then the 21 EMA right here, which could have been a 4R trade. And then maybe from there, you were aiming all the way down here, which would have been an 11R trade. As you see, you wouldn't have gotten that ultimate price target all the way down here, but you had 3 opportunities to lock in profits to the downside and moving your stop loss to at least break even in this scenario. And then as you can see, price came up, boom, hit the stop loss. Let's just go ahead and look at one more example right here. If we're looking at NQ, as we see, it got a nice low liquidity sweep below these lows right here, ended up reclaiming it. Say you ended up getting long on this candle right here, again, breaking it down to a smaller time frame. Maybe you were able to get a better entry. So let's actually just go ahead and break it down to a 2-minute time frame, and let's see if price gave a good little liquidity sweep right there. And sure enough, yes, it did. So looking at the 2-minute time frame, you could have gotten a nice sniper entry right here. You could have gotten long at the end of this candlestick right here. So let's just put on the long position right there. And again, you want to give yourself a little wiggle room to the downside. It's not like my stop loss is always going to be right at that low. I want to give it some room below there. So again, this is in hindsight. This already happened. So yeah, I can sit here and say, okay, my stop loss is going to be below this low right here. But it really depends on how price is reacting at that area. Looking at the 2-minute time frame over here, you shouldn't have been stopped out of this trade. Why? Price wick down, came right back up, right? So as we see in this trade, if we just go back to a 5-minute time frame, what should the first price target have been? That VWAP, ideally. Where did this go? Right over here. Boom. Okay. So say you were to get long in this trade right here, boom, your stop loss somewhere down below these lows. Maybe you did want to keep a really tight stop and say, okay, well, I'm going to stop out if it comes down to this spot right there. Either way, you can see, okay, what are we aiming for? Again, using that 2-minute time frame, you got a really good entry right here. So you could have been aiming for that 8 EMA. Is that a 1R trade? Boom. Yes, it is. So that was a 1.5R trade right to the 8 EMA. What are you looking to do? Take profits. Price got very close to that 21 EMA, giving you a 2R trade. Again, if you're up 2R on your position, you better be locking in some profits. Ideally, what are you aiming for? VWAP. And then if it wants to break above VWAP and give you more to the upside, you could have been looking for even more. But as we can see, if your stop really was right below this low right here and you were keeping a hard stop, price came down, it hit it, and then the 2-minute again confirmed the trade to get back in. So you could have went long again with a stop loss right below those lows. So let's just put one right there. And again, what are you looking for? At least a 1R trade. So if you got long right here, well, was this 8 EMA a 1R trade? Absolutely not. You don't want to be looking to take profits here. But that 5-minute 21 EMA was a 1.58R trade. Boom. That's an area you can look to take profits. What about VWAP? 2.25R trade. Boom. That's another area you can take profits. You could even aim for these highs over here. This high over here, maybe that same fair value gap right here, that price rejected right there. You could be aiming for that. There's so many different ways that you can identify these take profit zones. Ultimately, you could be aiming for high day. You could be using Fibonacci retracements, whatever it may be. There's so many different ways. And again, I am willing to trim before price hits the level if price is telling me to exit. I see a lot of people, they're so focused on saying, I am only trimming if price comes up and tests this fair value gap right here. That is the only area I'm interested in trimming at. A lot of the time it comes back to ultimately bite them because price falls short of the level, even though they were up a decent amount of their trade and they never locked in profits. Again, guys, the way that we are going to be able to catch these large moves in the market is by scaling out of our positions as long as it's a 1-to-1 risk to reward at a minimum before we start trimming. scaling out of the position, moving our stop loss up, and then looking for price to continue in our favor. At the same time, we're identifying other areas that we can look for trim spots. But yeah, that is going to wrap up this video. So hopefully you guys did find a lot of value in this. Again, this was a very highly requested video. So make sure if you guys did find value in this, make sure to smash that like button as well as clicking that subscribe and that bell icon. It would mean the absolute world to me. Everybody have an amazing rest of your day, and make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time, for another bootcamp video. Everybody have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you guys then.